A thriving downtown Memphis is something we all want, one that's safe with plenty of entertainment. Well, this week we learned the city's largest hotel will get a new name, the catalyst to bringing life back into downtown, if you will. Action News 5's Michaela Redmond spoke with downtown organizations who say that vision is on track to become reality.
The Downtown Memphis Commission says the tide is turning for downtown Memphis, with efforts of revitalization and even new investment. Memphis Tourism says as progress moves forward, it's only going to draw in more people locally and from across the world.
There's so many positive things that are happening.
Kevin Kane, the president of Memphis Tourism, says they're finally starting to see hospitality numbers coming back after what he calls a couple-year slump. Kane says to really service the visitor economy, cities have to have great hotels.
Last year, the Peabody completed a $30 million renovation, top to bottom at the Peabody. It looks brand new.
Now, the largest hotel in downtown, the Sheraton, has officially been renamed the Memphis Riverline Hotel and is undergoing renovations after the city of Memphis purchased it in November of last year. Kane says it will be rebranded as a Marriott hotel and will be top-notch in 3 years when it's completed. According to Memphis Mayor Paul Young, a strong city has a thriving downtown, and the new name highlights one of the city's most important assets, the riverfront along the Mississippi River.
I do think that we are experiencing a turning point for our downtown. We are seeing these investments create new energy and new life.
Shondell Ryan, the CEO of the Downtown Memphis Commission, says it's more than just investments in hotels.
Like the Memphis Arts Museum that's coming later this year, even with the Bevo Entertainment that's coming on Mud Island.
Also public safety and creating a more walkable and welcoming downtown environment. Reporting in downtown Memphis, Michaela Redmond, Action News 5.